will endeavor to make your evening as...
Welcome to Hawthorne.
Storyteller. The game.
This entire evening.
Jesus Christ.
Start. Okay, 45 seconds.
Tyler and Margot stand at the harbor, waiting for a boat to arrive. The trip will bring them to a high-end private island. Their destination is Hawthorne, a renowned restaurant. The restaurant is exclusive and run by the country's top chef. Tyler feels extremely excited because he is a passionate food enthusiast. When the boat arrives, Tyler and Margot are surprised to see many important guests on board. There is Lillian, a food critic who discovered the chef, along with her editor, Ted. There is George, a once famous actor, accompanied by his assistant and his girlfriend, Felicity. There are also 3 influential tech investors, Dave, Soren, and Bryce. Margot feels most uneasy about Richard, a businessman she knows, and his wife, Anne. Margot does not want Richard to see her. She tries to stay out of his sight during the trip. On the boat, the guests are served the first luxurious dish. Tyler praises it while taking photos. Margot does not find it impressive. Upon arriving on the island, the head hostess, Elsa, mistakenly calls Margot by another name. Tyler awkwardly explains that there has been a change of plans and that he is there with a different date. Before dining, the guests take a tour. Elsa explains that the restaurant staff hunt and farm on the island. That is why they all live there. The chef also lives on the island, but his house is off limits. They then enter the restaurant. The kitchen is open, allowing guests to watch the chefs at work. At one of the tables sits an elderly woman named Linda, who seems out of place. When Richard finally notices Margot, he asks his wife to switch seats so he can see her more clearly. Elsa explains that watching the chefs is allowed, but taking photos is forbidden. Tyler moves closer and bombards the chefs with questions. The chefs ask him to stop distracting them. At that moment, Chef Slowik arrives. Elsa says something to him that makes Slowik look directly at Margot. The first course, a complimentary appetizer, is served. Lillian takes her time enjoying it. She smells and tastes it carefully. Felicity is busy trying to break up with George. Margot appreciates the dish, but she is not overly enthusiastic. Tyler feels the need to explain why the experience is meaningful. Shortly after, Slowik steps forward and claps his hands. All the chefs turn around simultaneously, like soldiers. He delivers a speech about his work. He emphasizes that guests should savor and appreciate the food, not simply eat it. Tyler tries to comment, but Slowik scolds him for interrupting. Despite the rule, Tyler continues taking photos during the second course. Slowik claps again and explains that the guests will not be served bread. Instead, they receive a breadless plate with small drops of savory accompaniments. Tyler loves it. Margot finds it insulting. Lillian notices that the emulsion is slightly split. In response, the staff send an entire bowl of it to her table as an ironic joke. The tech investors feel the joke has gone too far and ask for bread. Their request is denied. They mention working for Doug Varick, the island owner. Elsa responds cryptically, saying they will eat less than they desire and more than they deserve. Margot refuses her dish. Tyler tries to take it and accidentally breaks a glass. Slowik immediately comes over. Tyler apologizes, but Slowik focuses on why Margot is not eating. Margot says there is no food. Slowik explains the portions are intentional. If she doesn't eat, she won't be full. Margot refuses, and Slowik leaves, offended. He then gently checks on Linda, surprising everyone. Margot glances at Richard and notices and says Margot resembles their deceased daughter. Richard pretends not to recognize her and asks and to change the subject. With another clap, Slowik introduces the third course, Memory. He shares a personal story about his family's taco nights. Linda is his mother, who struggled with alcoholism since his childhood. His father was also an alcoholic. One night, when Linda confronted him, the father tried to harm her with a phone cord. Young Slowik grabbed scissors and stabbed his father in the thigh. He now regrets not doing more. The dish is a smoked chicken thigh topped with scissors and a phone cord. Fresh tortillas feature laser-engraved patterns. The atmosphere turns dark and unsettling. Guests notice memories engraved on the tortillas. Lillian sees images of restaurants closed due to her reviews, and is horrified to see photos exposing her husband's private life, including Richard with another woman. Richard claims it's a joke. George finds images from his failed movie, Dr. Sunshine. The tech investors discover manipulated tax records with fake expenses. When they threaten to shut the place, Elsa refuses to explain the source. She says it won't be necessary. Tyler, taking photos again, feels Slowik dislikes him. Margot finds the images offensive and wants to send the dish back. Tyler snaps at her, calling her childish. Hurt, Margot goes to the bathroom. Elsa stops her from entering the forbidden silver door. In the bathroom, Margot smokes by the window and sees an employee running with angel wings. Slowik approaches soon after. He asks why she again refused to eat and says he feels hurt. Margot says she's not very hungry. Slowik grows curious about her identity. When she insists she is just Margot from Nebraska, he remains suspicious. Shortly after, the chefs prepare the fourth course. They arrange fabric and decorations on the floor. Slowik introduces Jeremy, a sous chef who created the next dish, the mess. Despite Jeremy's prestigious culinary education and dream of working for Slowik, the head chef does not consider him exceptional. Slowik acknowledges Jeremy's talent while reflecting on his own life, full of pressure, dissatisfied customers, and unappreciative critics. Slowik asks Jeremy whether he truly wants to live such a high-pressure life. Jeremy says no. Slowik then embraces him and kisses both of his cheeks. However, Jeremy shocks everyone by pulling out a gun. After this unexpected moment, Slowik announces the fourth course, and Jeremy ends everything right then and there. The other chefs are not surprised and watch solemnly. The guests, except for Tyler, react in shock and step back as the body is removed. Slowik urges everyone to sit down and insists that this is part of the show. The guests begin discussing whether the death was real. Richard has had enough and tries to leave with Anne. Elsa stops him and explains that there is no boat available. Richard keeps insisting. Elsa orders the chefs to restrain him and take his ring finger. The guests, except for Tyler, panic as Richard screams in pain on the floor. Elsa returns the fallen wedding ring to Anne. Slowik again emphasizes that everything is part of the menu. Lillian accepts it, but the others grow increasingly frightened. Felicity asks George to speak to Slowik, believing they are friends. George admits that he lied to impress her. Elsa takes Margot to the kitchen. Slowik insists that she is not Margot and was not part of the original menu plan. He asks which side Margot is on. It does not matter, because everyone is meant to die that night. Margot returns to her table in tears and slaps Tyler when he will not stop talking about the food. The atmosphere in the restaurant becomes tense. Soren tries to smash a window with a chair in a moment of madness, but the glass is unbreakable. Elsa escorts him back to his table. The next course is tea as a palate cleanser. Slowik opens the floor for questions. Tyler asks a foolish question about the tea. George asks sincerely about their situation. Slowik explains that they are ingredients in a degustation concept. He gives examples, such as Lillian being a restaurant-destroying monster because of her personal tastes, and Ted constantly indulging her. A broken emulsion is served to Lillian. Elsa gives Margot a kitchen timer with 10 minutes on it, and asks for a doctor for Richard. Slowik mentions the guests' loyalty over 5 years and challenges them to name a single dish they have eaten. He recalls once dreaming of being an exclusive chef. Now he sees he has been serving people who can never be satisfied, like his mother. He keeps calling it his restaurant. Bryce reminds him that Doug Varick owns it. Slowik replies that he owns Doug. Doug is revealed hanging outside, wearing angel wings. Dave offers money to save Doug. Slowik refuses. Dave tries to escape, but the staff stop him. Bryce says Doug supported Slowik during the pandemic. Slowik complains that Doug constantly questioned the menu. Elsa signals, and Doug is lowered into the sea until he drowns. Slowik declares himself free and goes to his office. Margot's timer rings, and she is summoned. She admits she should not be there. Slowik acknowledges she comes from the same service industry. He asks why she stared at Richard. Margot admits she is a street sex worker. Richard was her client and asked her to pretend to be his daughter during sex. The memory disturbed her. Slowik and Margot agree that serving others once brought them joy, but difficult clients made them hate their work. Slowik brings everyone outside. Sous Chef Catherine presents the next course. She reveals that Slowik once made advances toward her, which she rejected. He did not fire her, but ignored her afterward. This inspired the dishman's folly. Catherine stabs Slowik in the leg, hugs him, and stains his uniform with blood. Slowik apologizes. The male guests get a 45-second head start to escape. All run except Tyler. Slowik urges him to go. Catherine leads the women inside for the 6th course. She reveals the idea that everyone dies was hers. Lillian's praise moves her to tears. The women compliment her to keep her calm, and asks about Margot and Richard. Margot admits she knows him, and stays silent. Margot reveals her real name is Erin, and she is from Massachusetts. Outside, Tyler watches through the window, upset about missing a course. The staff easily capture the men. Ted hides in the smokehouse and earns a quail egg. All are brought back. George sarcastically apologizes to Felicity. She admits stealing money from him. George already knew. Slowik stops the menu to address Tyler. He forces Tyler to admit he knew everyone would die. Tyler hired Margot to secure a reservation after his girlfriend left him, unaware she was not meant to be there. Margot attacks Tyler, and the staff restrain her. Slowik gives Tyler a chef's jacket and orders him to cook. Tyler panics. The dish collapses into chaos as Slowik mocks him. Slowik says Tyler has ruined the mystery of cooking, whispers to him, and Tyler runs off in tears. Later, Slowik asks Margot to fetch a large barrel for dessert because Elsa forgot it. On the way, Margot finds Tyler dead. She shows no reaction. Back in the dining room, George protests that this is unfair. Slowik explains George is being punished for a bad review of Dr. Sunshine that ruined his day off. Felicity will die because she graduated from Brown with no student debt. Meanwhile, Margot reaches the smokehouse. Instead of taking the barrel, she grabs a knife and sneaks into Slowik's house. The building mirrors the restaurant, but includes a bed. Margot tries to leave through the silver door, but Elsa stops her. Elsa is also armed and reminds her the area is off limits. Elsa suddenly attacks, revealing her fear of being replaced. Margot defends herself with kitchen objects and insists she does not want to work there. Elsa says she did not forget the barrel, but Slowik never asked for it. They struggle on the floor. While trying to keep the knife away, Margot accidentally kills Elsa. After calming down, Margot takes Elsa's keys and opens the silver door. Inside is a simple room filled with memories from Slowik's happier past, when he had a family and made hamburgers. There is also a radio, which Margot uses to call for help. Back at the restaurant, Bryce is surprised with a birthday cake arranged by his friends. The moment is cut short when Margot enters carrying a barrel. Slowik admits his dark past and says his actions now come from good intentions. He boasts about his chef's hardened hands, claiming they can touch fire without pain. A boat approaches the island, and Slowik realizes Margot used the radio. The staff quickly remove all traces of blood. Slowik warns that if anyone seeks help, an innocent man will die. A man named Dale, claiming to be Coast Guard, enters and asks what is wrong. No one responds. Dale recognizes George and asks for an autograph as a Dr. Sunshine fan. When Dale notices the message "Help us," he draws a gun. The guests begin to speak up. Dale then reveals the gun is a lighter and admits he is part of Slowik's staff before returning to the kitchen. Slowik tells Margot he is deeply disappointed and sees her as no different from the others. Remembering what she saw in the house, Margot takes a risk. She claps to get Slowik's attention and complains about the food. She says the dishes are empty intellectual exercises and asks for a simple cheeseburger. Slowik smiles for the first time and agrees to make a classic cheeseburger with fries for $9.95. The chefs watch as he prepares it with pride. Margot tastes it, approves, but cannot finish it. She asks for the rest to go, and Slowik agrees. Margot leaves $10 and exits. She hesitates, knowing the others are still in danger, but Slowik signals her to go. She reaches the harbor and escapes on Dale's boat. Slowik then asks the guests to settle the bill. Each pays $1,250 with no tip and receives a gift bag, including one of Doug's fingers. After collecting credit cards, Slowik announces dessert. The chefs turn the floor into a large plate, dressing the guests with chocolate hats and marshmallow vests. Slowik says they will become part of his life's work. He introduces the final dessert, a s'more. He throws hot coal onto the floor, igniting a fire that consumes the restaurant. The film ends as Margot stops the boat, eats her cheeseburger, and watches the restaurant burn. She wipes her mouth with the menu from the gift bag. The menu shows how privilege and obsession can strip joy from both work and art. People who consume without respect turn passion into resentment and cruelty. The film reminds you that honesty and simple enjoyment matter more than status or exclusivity.